The first thing he ever said to me was, "First time seeing a naked man?" And the way the rancher laughed made my face burn so hot. I had to turn away before he could see the shame in my eyes. I'd crossed half the desert to escape trouble, and instead I walked straight into humiliation. In that moment, standing there with the wind whipping dust around my ankles, I wondered if I should have fired back at him or kept my head down like I always had. Was I wrong for turning away instead of standing up for myself? Let me back up, because none of this makes sense without the beginning. My name doesn't matter much, but I was an Apache woman, grown and of age, raised to keep my pride quiet and my strength steady. After my parents died, I moved between camps and trading posts, taking whatever work I could find. Word spread that a ranch near the river needed help, honest work for honest pay, and I believed it might finally be a place to stay. I arrived at dawn, tired, hopeful, and completely unprepared for the way some people looked at me, like I was a curiosity instead of a person. When I went to the wash area to rinse dust from my hands, I didn't realize someone else was there. I froze, startled, and immediately turned my face away out of respect. That's when the rancher's voice cut through the air with that teasing line, followed by laughter from a couple of his hands. They acted like my embarrassment was entertainment, and I swallowed my anger because I needed the job. I stayed. That's the part people always question. Day after day, I worked harder than anyone else, mending fences, carrying water, cooking meals, proving I wasn't weak or stupid. The rancher, whose name was Cole, never missed a chance to make small comments, jokes that danced right on the edge of cruelty. He'd say things about how quiet I was or how I blushed easy, and the men would laugh. Inside, my chest felt tight, but I reminded myself why I was there. I told myself survival sometimes meant silence. Still, at night, I replayed that first moment in my head and wondered if my turning away made him think he could say anything he wanted to me. Things shifted when I saved one of the ranch hands from a rattlesnake bite. I didn't hesitate. I tied off his leg, used what knowledge my mother taught me, and kept him alive until help came. For the first time, the laughter stopped. The men looked at me differently, and even Cole seemed surprised. He thanked me awkwardly, and for a brief moment I thought maybe respect was possible. But respect that comes and goes isn't real respect, and I learned that the hard way when I overheard Cole joking about me again, telling a visitor I was just a shy Apache girl who didn't know how the world worked. That was the moment everything inside me snapped. So that's the situation I was in, standing outside the barn with my hands shaking, realizing I had been patient, useful and quiet, and it still wasn't enough. Before I tell you what I did next, I want you to pause and really think about it. If you were in my place, far from home, dependent on people who didn't fully respect you, would you stay silent to survive? Or would you risk everything to be heard? Comment what you would have done, because I wrestled with that choice for hours. In the end, I chose my voice. That night, I confronted Cole in front of everyone. My heart pounded so loud I thought it would drown out my words, but I spoke anyway. I told him that my turning away that first day wasn't weakness. It was respect, something he clearly didn't understand. I reminded him who saved his man's life and who carried her weight every single day. The yard went quiet. Cole tried to laugh it off, but no one joined him this time. I said if he couldn't treat me like a human being, I'd leave. And he'd explain to the others why the hardest worker on his ranch walked away. The aftermath surprised me. Cole apologized, not perfectly, but sincerely enough that the men could hear it. The joke stopped. I wasn't suddenly embraced, but I was no longer mocked. Over time, I earned something better than approval. Space, dignity, and the knowledge that I didn't disappear when challenged. I stayed on that ranch for another year, saved enough money to choose my own path, and left on my own terms, head high. Looking back, I learned that silence can protect you, but it can also shrink you if you never break it. Turning my face away that first day didn't define me, but finding my voice later did. So tell me, was I wrong for staying as long as I did? Or was I right to wait until the moment mattered most? Like this video, if you were on my side. Subscribe for more stories like this, and share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section. I'll see you all in the next story.